Welcome to Cherryblossom Yoga. I'm Robin Dinerman. This is a half-hour Hatha Yoga class for beginning and continuing students. Today is November 20th, 2020. This is the first time we've been in Cherryblossom Yoga land since March. And I want to thank the cable station, Montgomery Municipal Cable, for creating a playlist of about 60 videos of these classes on YouTube. And of course, you can go to the station website at MMCTV.org, and you'll see many, many wonderful programs. It's been very interesting dealing with this shutdown and the pandemic and the election, and I know it's been a time of great stress for everyone. My mission in life is to help people feel better, and I do this by teaching them yoga techniques, teaching you yoga techniques to calm your mind, relax your body. And it's been very rewarding to hear from people actually over the country, all over, from Florida, Mary in Florida, and Fred in the Cincinnati area, and my friend Ann Cohen, who's another yoga teacher in Colorado. And then there's a gal in Texas, another Robin, who's been watching, and it just makes me feel so good to hear that they like the classes and it helps them cope and relax, calm down. So I invite you to continue with me or to join me for the first time. We're going to begin in the basic yoga stance, Tadasana, the mountain pose, feet about hip distance apart, toes pointed forward or slightly turned inward, shoulders above hips, hips above knees, knees above ankles, and then bring your weight slightly forward and feel how your toes grip down, and bring your shoulders back, and when the toes lift off the floor, wiggle them all around, move them all around, and then coming back so you feel your weight is pressing downward, stretch the toes again. And then reach upward. We're going to gather some energy, pull it down to the crown of the head, and take it into our hearts. And reaching up, lifting upwards, collecting the energy. And I like to thank my body for supporting me in this lifetime. So we're beginning to pay attention to our breath, deepening the in-breath and extending the out-breath. And release your arms and let your head hang, feeling the stretch at the back of your neck. And become aware of your lower back. If you find that it's swaying, tighten the buttock muscles, tuck the tailbone under. You'll feel your belly muscles tighten as well. And let gravity pull your head down without bouncing. And then slowly lifting forehead, nose, and chin, and coming up. Place one hand on your hip, open the other hand, And imagine you have a great silver ball of energy, and with your eyes, just can't leave that energy ball. Maybe you feel some warmth or some tingling. Can you imagine that ball of energy? You're just doing very, very timid twist because we're just waking up and warming up the muscles. And come back to center. And in this hand, you have a golden ball of energy. And twisting. Can you visualize the sparks of energy held in your hand? Feel the shape of the globe. And release. And bring your fingertips to your shoulders. Bring the elbows together. Try to touch. And inhale and open. Deep breath in. Exhaling. And inhaling. And you might be able to hear my breath. I'm making a soft, whispered ha sound from the back of my throat. Or you can even make it from your mouth when I exhale. And elbows together, and then drop them down, bring them back, drawing circles in the air. So you can go at your own pace. Just don't go any faster than I'm going. And then reverse. So you can feel your shoulders beginning to warm up. Maybe some of your neck muscles. Again. And release. And shake any tension that's draining down your neck and shoulders, down your arms. Shake it off your fingertips. And while you're at it, give your foot a shake or two. And then separate your feet until they're comfortably apart. And keep the knees nice and soft. And we're going to swing to one side and then to the other. Let your eyes follow your hands. Look just beyond the fingertips. And then coming to one side, a big circle. And coming to the other side, a big circle. And we'll do that for a little bit. One more time on each side. And then both arms. And feel your whole body moving. Stretching and reaching. And reverse the direction. And arms out, T position, shoulder height, fingers pressed together, toes are pointed forward, and then flex at the wrist. Breathe in and push outward, exhaling. Feel a tingle move into your hand, and then release and let your arms float down. And turning your feet outward now, lower the seat, and then straighten the knees. Bend and straighten. And find a comfortable position for your feet. Some people like their toes forward. I'm much more comfortable turned outward. So we're warming up and lubricating the knees and the ankles. Then we're coming into goddess pose with the hands slightly outward. And then holding. Try to keep your shoulders above the hips, knees bent. The knees should be in front of the ankles or just over the ankles. Press down evenly through the soles of your feet. Now inhaling, come up and straighten. And let's heel toe inward, back into Tadasana. And then arms in this wide V and swing back about 4 or 5 times. And the other side. And then both arms. And then let them float down. And bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes and pause. Notice how you feel. Scanning your neck muscles, traveling down your spine into your lower back. Check your knees out. Move your toes around. See if you feel that your weight is evenly distributed over the soles of your feet. And then come back up to your nostrils and pull the air into your body and visualize it traveling down into your lungs, the lungs expanding with fresh oxygen, and exhaling, tightening your belly muscles, helping the diaphragm to push against the lower lobes of the lungs and empty the lungs of old, stale air. Focusing on your breath, breathing deeply, and exhaling completely. And one more standing posture, the feet out. This will be one of the warrior poses. So the feet are spread apart, turning one foot out to point toward the end of the mat, and the other one turned inward slightly. Notice how your body moves. So you want to move your hips and shoulders so that they're square to the front line of your mat. Now, if you can, separate the feet some more. I'm kind of working my way out there and bringing the knee above the ankle. And now we're like this. So look out over one hand and slowly turn to center. And look out over the other hand. And return to center. And then you're folding over the bent leg, just placing your arm so it touches, not putting any weight on that leg. And the arm over the cheek or the ear in a side angle pose. And then pushing off as you inhale upward. And turn the toes forward and lower the arm. And then turning the other foot out Finding a comfortable position for your knee, squaring the body to the front line of the mat, arms out in T position. And look out over your arm. And back. Turning all the way to the other arm. And back to center. And coming in to the side angle pose. And I don't have my feet as far apart on this one because I'm watching out for my left knee. So you can modify any pose so that it suits your body and you take care of your body. And then pushing off, inhale back to center. The arm comes down. Bend your knees slightly. Lift the sit bones up. Come forward. Tuck your chin in. You may or may not come to the floor. That's okay. So I have my toes pointed outward still. We're going to go side to side. And I am putting some weight, a little bit of weight on my fingertips. And of course, you can try this without hands. But keep the chin tucked under. And you might want to pause and let that stretch really happen. And come over to the other side. It's a nice inner thigh stretch. And back to center. And I'm going to heel toe, or you can step your feet back together. I'm going to flatten my back, lifting the back of my neck, and walk my hands up my legs, unfolding. Back into Tadasana. And we're going to take a short pause. Pause. We'll return in just a moment.
Here are AARP's top tips on caregiver preparedness during coronavirus. Form a caregiving team. Inventory essential supplies and medications. Make a plan to stay connected. Maintain self-care and follow CDC guidelines. Learn more on our website.
Welcome back to Cherryblossom Yoga. We are now seated on the floor, and if you're seated on your couch, that's fine too. So we're going to do some more stretching and a little bit of twisting and then some relaxation. So seated comfortably, and you can have your legs out straight if you want. I have mine just crossed in Sukhasana. I'm going to reach and reach and reach. Arms parallel to each other. Trying to keep my sit bones on the floor. I'm going to press down just a little bit and then come back up. I'm going to exchange legs. So the other leg is in front now, and do the same stretch. It's going to feel really different on this side. And reaching and coming back. And then extend the legs out into a wide V. And I'm going to flex and bend the knee. Point and straighten. Flex and bend. Point and straighten. Rotate at the ankles. And reverse. And then sit tall. Lift up so I can actually feel my sit bones pressing down. You might not be able to. I'm going to place my hands inside of the calves and separate the legs as much as possible, keeping the toes pretty well pointed up. And then again, reaching. Take your time doing this. And reach with both hands and sit up. Again, you might want to separate a little more. Now I'm going to reach for the inside of my foot, right at the arch. Now you might not be able to do that, so reach for inside the leg, just so you're inside here. And bring your other hand up high on the rib cage with the thumb pointed toward the navel. Now I'm going to turn toward the upper arm and lift up, twisting a little more, turning the rib cage and looking over my shoulder. And breathing. So, as best as you're able, come into this posture. And then I'm going to bring that upper arm over and reach for the foot. Tuck my head under the arm and look up at the ceiling or the sky. Nice long stretch. Especially when you exhale. There I go. I'm leaning more into it. You'll feel the muscles loosen up a bit after a while, especially if you're breathing and exhaling completely. Then I'm going to lift up and come back to center and pause for a moment and roll inward and outward. And then reaching down for the inside of this foot. And you might not be able to do it on both sides, or maybe you will. I'm going to turn my head, look over the upper shoulder, peek over. I know it sounds odd, but I remember early on taking classes and reading books, and they'd say, once you're in the position, then relax. But since that's what you're learning how to do, it seemed it wasn't quite the instruction that you need. So here's what I think. As you're holding a pose, and you're giving your breath out and in, and the muscles are getting accustomed to the stretch and gravity's pulling you down. You can see I'm sinking just a little bit. I'm going to bring the arm over, reach for the toes, peek underneath. This is about as straight as my knee gets, about 98%. And breathing, and let that stretch happen from the armpit all the way down, in between the ribs, down to the waist. And I can even sink down a little bit more. And slowly coming up. And we're going to prepare for the rest and relaxation. Coming down onto your back. And you can have your knees up or legs straight. I always let out a big sigh once I come down to the floor. I'm going to press the feet down, point the tailbone up, and then I can flatten my lower back to the floor, extend the legs, and then turn the palms up. And on your next in-breath, arch your back, tuck your shoulder blades in, and you'll feel them flatten, which opens and lifts your chest, so your breath should come in and leave your body smoothly and easily. Let your eyes close. Move your fingers, move your toes. Release any remaining tension. Allow the floor to support you. No need to hold on. Simply rest peacefully, serenely, and quietly. Let your attention return to your body and your breath. And if you wish, bring your arms over your head. Let your back arch as you stretch. Take a deep breath in. You might yawn as you release more tension. Spread the fingers apart. Open the palms. Move the toes. Spread them apart. Bring your knees up. And roll onto your side, letting your head rest on your arm, drawing your knees inward and sinking down. When you feel that you're ready, use your top hand, press the floor away, walk your hands back to your body, return to a seated position. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're feeling wonderful and that you can carry that feeling with you into your day, into your week, and into your life. Stay safe and be well. Namaste.